Wow, what an honor to be here today. Chaplain Yee. I really wanted to thank him because his invocation was amazing.
Yeah.
Colonel Gordon, Colonel Ivers, Chief Ahasey, Major Messina, Lieutenant Nancaro, Major McAndrew, Airmen of the 102nd Intelligence Wing, Defenders of the 102nd Security Forces Squadron, friends, old and new, of course, my beloved family. I express my most sincere thanks to each and every one of you for being here today to share my final day in uniform. I'm truly honored. 22 years. It went by fast, like a blink of an eye. Anyone that's served over 20 years can attest to that. It goes by much faster than you would ever think when you first enlist and you're a young airman. That first enlistment seems to take forever, but after that it just goes right by. I'd like to begin by thanking my dad. He's here in the room today, right in the front row. From the moment I told him that I was enlisting in the Air Force, he's been my biggest supporter. He's been my ear to vent to, my shoulder to cry on, my go-to when I needed advice. He's provided me with mentorship throughout my career. I'm beyond grateful for the love and support that my dad has provided me throughout this 22-year career. Thanks, Dad. I'd also like to thank the many friends, peers, supervisors, leaders, and everyone that believed in me. Could have never made it this far without you. You know, I joined the Air Force in 2001, and during that time, there were really no major conflicts going on. I thought it was going to be a quick 4 years, and I was going to be done. I had no inclination of serving any more than 4 years at that time. Never even expected to make staff sergeant. September 11, 2001 changed that. As a brand new airman witnessing the cowardly acts of terror that occurred on that day, my duty to serve was defined. Service was more than checking a box after 4 years. It was much, much more than that. And 22 years later, I'm finally checking that box. Growing up just a few miles down the road from here, I'd always hear the jets taking off and see them flying overhead. The F-106s when I was a kid, the F-15s as I got older. I thought that was the coolest thing. Well, fast forward, my enlistment, and there I was providing security for these same jets. That was the coolest thing. My inner child was jumping for joy just looking at these monsters on the flight line. I'm lucky enough to have provided security for many, many of the Air Force's finest aircraft. In my security forces career, I've served in many roles and positions. Each one of them have plenty of stories to go with them. Being selected to work security forces corrections when I was a young airman, and I was assigned to a pretrial inmate who was charged with attempted murder. And he was only millimeters away from completing that murder. That was one story, one event that I could never forget. I was working as an investigator with OSI and the Joint Drug Enforcement Team while stationed in New Mexico. I was investigating airmen involved in on-duty drug use. That was another position I'm very proud of. In my career, I've guarded Air Force One, provided security for President George W. Bush's visit to Fort Hood in Texas. Worked alongside Delta Force in the 75th Ranger Regiment at a forward operating base in 2003, preparing to invade Iraq. As part of one of the largest deployments of airmen here in the 102nd, in 2010, the team that was tasked of transitioning wartime to a post-war environment, Operation Iraqi Freedom to Operation New Dawn. I explored Alaska, Sicily, Savannah, Georgia, Gulfport, Mississippi, just to name a few. For these experiences of my career, I am truly, truly blessed. 17 years here at Otis. It's my home. You know, I never once in my career considered this job to be anything of a noble profession. It was my job, it was my duty, it was what I came to do. It's what we all do, right? But it is a very noble profession. What you do, everyone in this room, is not something that everyone can do. And frankly, it's something that not anyone might even want to do. But you do it. And you do it with pride. We all share that common bond, service. Your service matters. Even if you don't think it does, it matters. It counts. We all serve this great nation and her people, and we do it selflessly with courage, pride, and integrity. I just want to leave you with this. Know your purpose. If you know your why, you'll know your purpose. Knowing your why will help you find the courage to take the risks needed to succeed. Why does what I do matter to me? Why does what I do matter to my family? Why does it matter to my airmen? When you know your why, you'll know your way. I wish you all great success, safety, security, and God bless you all. Thank you.